Super Bowl stock risers, anyone whose stock has gone up as a result of Super Bowl 57. Chris, you're up.
Well, I'm going to start with Big Red and Andy Reid. I think probably his stock went the highest here. He went from Hall of Fame coach to, special room in the Hall of Fame, like we've talked about a lot last week, right? The Deion Sanders conversation. That's where, hey, Super Bowl coach, yeah, hey, he's in the Hall of Fame, to, whoa, I think now he's in, that conversation for the greatest coaches of all time. What he's done in Philadelphia and Kansas City, what he's still in the midst of accomplishing here. And then, yes, to beat your old team, who I don't think anybody in the football universe didn't think that the old team was better than the team he was coaching, and to come up with a game plan to win that game, yeah, I think Andy Reid probably benefited the most.
Yeah, I agree with you. And look, I mean, this is obvious. We've been talking about the guy the last 2 days, but Patrick Mahomes, the legend, has grown.
Same kind of thing.
2 Super Bowl wins,
right?
Much different than one. And we talked about the upper room a lot last week. They've got 3 guys on that team that would be in the upper room if and when there is one: Andy Reid, Travis Kelce, Patrick Mahomes, and
Chris Jones might be in there too.
People have been asking me. People have been asking me if Mahomes is a first ballot Hall of Famer if he would retire today. Not that he would. Yes, he is, and he's in that upper room today. Because we've seen it. 5 years is long enough to see that kind of greatness. He's been that great that 5 years gets him in.
Yeah, I agreed. It's just another stratosphere. I think that's where we're at in this conversation, and that's where Mahomes and Andy Reid, they went into NFL all-time great territory, where they were just an NFL legend territory before this. So I agree with you there. Man, the next one here, whew, I'm going to go with the Chiefs O-line, okay? They were the overlooked unit. I know they weren't totally overlooked by us. We again, I think the last 2 weeks, we tried to tell people, right? I think Kansas City can block this group. I think they can block them good enough to where they can't ruin the game. Not only did they do that, I mean, Mahomes was under pressure. That was one thing that jumped out watching the game back last night, maybe more than I realized originally. There was a little more pressure on him than I thought. But still, it wasn't to where it let it change the game. No sacks, and they ran the ball. And ran the ball very effective. I got to think they changed their stock in everybody's eyes.
Next one for me, Kadarius Toney. We talked earlier that if that play that went to Sky Moore had gone to him, he may have been the MVP. He had the touchdown catch. He had the 65-yard punt return, the longest punt return in Super Bowl history. He was a guy that I firmly believe when they traded for him, it was about next year. And that anything they got out of him this year would have been bonus, house money. So now he elevates, in my mind, into a guy who's going to be one of the top receivers for the Chiefs in 2023. And beyond, at a very reasonable price for the Kansas City Chiefs. Real quick, we each got to make a pick.
Gosh, there's so many to choose from here, but I'm going to go with Jalen Hurts. I mean, I think everybody saw that, of course, what he, was capable of, played the best game of his career, right? I got to give him credit for that. Stock went up in a big way. Now I wish everybody else got treated as fairly as he did, okay, after a loss like that.
Am I going to get a pick?
Nah.
All right, I'm going Greg Olsen. Greg Olsen, but Greg, as fast as it goes up, it can come back down. Just ask Tony Romo. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.